Hello all my beautiful little unicorns and welcome back to my channel. And if this is the first time that you're on my channel, please allow for me to introduce myself to you. My name's Vanessa Somuayina. You guys know me as your big sis from the internet, as well as your favorite tarot reader right here on YouTube. And in today's pick a card prediction, I have some extremely accurate and personalized groups prepared for you. And if you're just like me and you prefer to be prepared rather than surprised, then this reading about the next big unexpected changes that are coming for you is the perfect space for you to be in right now. Because remember, my gorgeous soul, you could be anywhere on the interweb, but you chose to be here for a reason. This is no coincidence. You are meant to receive your tarot reading right now. So how this video works is that I will introduce you to these 4 groups, and I would like you to pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. The groups today are very particular. We have 4 different decks of cards, 4 different crystals, as well as 2 additional symbols with each group that you get to choose from. Without further ado, allow for me to introduce you to these 4 groups. Group number 1 corresponds to the Tattoo Tarot deck, the Carnelian crystal, the symbol of the moon, as well as Gemini. Group number 2 corresponds to the Star Spinner Tarot deck, as well as the number 1 and the symbol of Mars, and then we've got the clear quartz crystal for you. Group number 3 corresponds to the White Newman Tarot, as well as the Lapis Lazuli crystal. We have Leo, as well as the number 8. And group number 4 corresponds to the Austera Tarot deck. We have the symbol of Sagittarius, as well as the number 12 and the Jade crystal. The timestamps to all 4 of these groups can be found below in the description box, as well as pinned to the top of the comment section for quick and easy access from your mobile devices, your laptops, your TVs, and your tablets. And what I'll do now is I will provide you with a little moment of privacy so you can meditate on these 4 groups and pick whichever one calls to you. Go with your gut feeling and your intuition. As a psychic medium, I can't tell you how many times I have had private readings with clients who said that they regretted not just listening to their gut feeling. So go with whichever group that you first felt drawn towards. And if you feel comfortable in this healing space on the internet, of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel to never miss another one of these predictions. As promised, I'll now give you the little moment of privacy, and then I'll be right back to guide you into your readings. All right, my beautiful soul, by now you've hopefully been able to select one of these 4 groups. I will be getting straight into the readings with the first group, which corresponds to the Tattoo Tarot deck, the Carnelian crystal, the moon symbol, as well as Gemini. So if this is the combination that you chose, then please continue watching. And if you find that you absolutely cannot make up your mind, feel free to tune into 2 or more readings, because sometimes your personal reading is a mixture of multiple groups. And on a side note, you can find all of my decks and the decks that I used within this reading in the description box. My crystal jewelry is linked below as well. And of course, also my daily reading and private tarot readings that you can receive. So let's get into it. We're starting off with group number 1. So just continue watching if this is the group of your choice. And to my other beautiful groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamps. Hello, group number 1. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Tattoo Tarot deck, the Carnelian, the symbol of the crescent moon, as well as Gemini when it comes to the group of your choice, for us to be taken through the journey of the next unexpected big changes that are coming for you. My name's Vanessa Somuayina, and I have conducted thousands of individual readings on my YouTube channel. You guys have been with me for years, and I am so proud of us for coming this far on all of our healing and growth journeys, and I can't wait for us to see precisely what the next big unexpected changes are that are coming towards you. So within the crescent crescent moon and Gemini, I do see here that we've got some moon Gemini energy, which is a hidden kind of talkative streak within you. So if you are usually an introvert, group number one, I want you to know that what comes next for you is actually a time of mega extroversion. So you feeling like you're not even the same person and feeling like you've got this twin that is completely different and that is coming to light. The carnelian is also a crystal actually of not just creativity but also getting stuff done. This has a lot of masculine energy. So you literally being in this twin you energy, becoming this person that you didn't even know you had within you, comes as a huge change. For Gemini, we of course have the zodiac sign of the two personalities, or people say like split personalities, right? So Gemini is definitely a sign that you will resonate with and that will be strengthened within your birth chart if you have a lot of Gemini placements. If you've got a Gemini moon placement, get ready for some crazy psychic abilities coming to light, as I do see here that you are extremely receptive to truths but also lies. So being almost like a human lie detector, that's what I see, and not doubting your intuition one little bit, because every single time you felt something about someone or a situation, you were right, group number one. You were right. So let's get into it. First up, we have the Knight of Wands. Now, the Knight of Wands comes as a huge, unexpected change into your life. This is the Knight of fire signs. And I love how we have this fiery energy going on. Fire signs are signs who are said to be temperamental, passionate, enthusiastic, really fun and adventurous. The Knight of Wands is someone who is roughly around your age and who still wants to travel and explore the world quite a bit. When this card comes into your reading, it also brings you a message. So a letter or an email, a DM about a creative venture that you can partake in and where you can just kind of grow professionally, if you will, but in a creative way. So this is an additional stream of income. This is not your main job or the main thing that you're doing. This is a side project that you always wanted to work out. And we have this confirmed within the Ace of Wands. I love how we received this card next, because the Suit of Wands, as already mentioned, corresponds to the element of fire, and the Ace always means a new beginning. So if you're learning tarot or it's something that you're trying to know more of, the Ace always represents a fresh start where you have a lot of opportunity to take off from. Now, the Ace of Wands is the ace of something new, the new beginning of a creative project, of something that will completely change the trajectory of your life. This comes as a big unexpected change in connectivity to the Knight of Wands, because there's someone who wants to take action, who wants to work together, who wants to collaborate, and they are a very fast-paced person. They'll be in your DMs and your emails, and they will let you know of this project that's coming towards you that you can both kind of work on together, and you both can build something with one another. This can be a romantic partner. I don't want to say that this is just completely platonic. We do have the roses in here. We do have that wands energy that is definitely in the passionate and a little bit romantic side of things. And here within the Five of Cups, I do see that actually this person has just broken up with their girlfriend, with their previous partner. I see in the Five of Cups, like they're still going through some healing and grieving. And I do want you to understand that they will need time because they want to heal and grieve, but at the same time, you are just so interesting. You just seem like the perfect person for them to be around right now. Not that you are going to be like the replacement or the placeholder, don't take it the wrong way, group number one, but they have gone through some real stuff here in their personal life. They have been disappointed heavily by past relationships and past partners. As we see here with the eye, the tears, the number 5 is a very challenging number. And I want you to know here within the Knight of Coins that actually we have a love triangle that's coming for you that you didn't expect. This is really something. Now we've got a fire sign here with the Knight of Wands, and then we have an earth sign with the Knight of Coins. Now they're both roughly in the same age category. They are at a point where they're focused on their career. They want to build something. They want to be able to provide a certain like lifestyle for themselves and potentially their future families as well. And the Knight of Coins is definitely someone who is a little bit more stable, who has figured things out, and who is a little further along than the Knight of Wands. Perhaps maybe the more rational choice for you, but something about the Knight of Wands just really floats your boat. Group number one just really makes you feel like this is an exciting connection to have in your life. Now, the Sun shows us that at the end of the day, even with a love triangle, everything will turn out for the better. You're having a good time, you're having fun. The Sun shows us here that there's warmth and that there's togetherness. And in the end, you will choose the right person. So don't worry about this love triangle situation and how it will play out or whether it will turn out fine or not. The thing with you, group number one, is like you have to stop giving all of your loyalty to someone before they have earned it or deserved it. You've done that in the past. Now's the time for you to have fun. Now's the time for you to just see who makes themselves out as the best possible partner and then go with that and be in your happiness. You are too kind, too good, too caring for your own good in many instances. And it's time for you to have a little bit more of a selfish streak within you. Now, the King of Coins shows us here that there is definitely someone who will give you the most amazing advice, who is an older earth sign. So this is like a fatherly figure, also someone like a boss, like an older brother that you can talk to about what you're going through. And he will actually tell you, focus on the earthly realm, focus on who can provide long term, focus not on who makes you feel the most excited or who's the most good looking, but who is the most stable, who is the type of person that you can see your kids growing up around, that you think has actually worked on their traumas and their shortcomings, and where even if looks fade, you would still respect them and want to be around them, and you would be proud to call yourself their partner. So that's the advice that you're getting here about your love triangle that's coming as a next big unexpected change. And also this love triangle where with one person you might even start off as business partners or business associates. You will start off doing a project together with work where you are bonding over jokes and just like inside things that you would only get if you work together. And that makes it feel very intimate. But it also makes you gloss over some things in the Knight of Wands that you wouldn't have glossed over if you met them outside of this work predicament. So be very mindful of the fact that certain scenarios can skew how quote unquote hard we are on people, because sometimes it's good to be hard on people. It's good to let them prove themselves. Don't always give all of your loyalty and love up so easily before anyone has even shown you that they would do the same. Now here we've got endless serendipity, which is indicative of the fact that what is actually coming for you next as an unexpected big change is a huge 180 in the areas of your life that were giving you a headache. And I can see that organization is a big one here with the Knight of Coins. You're taking a lot of inspiration from other people who love to organize. There is actually this Instagram account that I love. It's called Operation Nikki, I think. Oh, the way this lady organizes her life, her children's life, her husband's life. Oh, it is beautiful. The self-care that she does. So I definitely see you being mega inspired and turning chaos into organization and unknowns into strong knowns. Next up, we've got murky waters, and I see precisely why. The thing with you, group number one, is that for a very, very long time in your life, you didn't quite know where you're going, where you're headed. You didn't even know who you were. And here within murky waters, I do see that having a lot of unknowns in your life and variables that can change at any moment that aren't in your control. So elderly family members, parents as well, that just do their own thing that are not in your control whatsoever, but it can still affect you negatively. So because, you know, these are some things you have to deal with and you can't really get rid of or you can't really do anything about, you are actually giving yourself so much stability and serendipity in everything that you can control, because you know you were not put on earth to deal with nonsense. You were not put on earth to only be in a place where you don't know where you stand. You don't need that. Some people may do that or may try to drag you into that, but you're not actually going to do that to yourself or when you get to pick your own personal life and your own relationship, really. Now, within Be Authentic, what comes as a huge unexpected change is how comfortable that you are starting to feel in your own skin without having to pretend like you're someone else in front of other people. And I'm getting this just I don't give an F kind of energy moving forward from you, group number one. Quite literally speaking, taking off the mask that you had on and showing people who you really are. In connectivity to the King of Coins, I see that what comes as a big unexpected surprise. So for any of you guys who are in the closet, okay, this is revealing this information to someone who is an elderly man. Like, I'm getting dad and grandpa kind of vibes, and someone who is actually still going to respect you immensely for that. But what Be Authentic will actually mean for most of you is being authentic in your religious beliefs, your spiritual beliefs, and how you want to portray yourself publicly, because many times you have kind of toned it down because you didn't want to make others feel uncomfortable, but you are fully embracing your beliefs, you're fully embracing what you want to follow spiritually and religiously, and it's part of you. You're not going to be embarrassed about it or neatly tuck it away just so that you don't rub anyone the wrong way or that no one feels as though they're threatened or something. Now, within Hope on the Horizon, what comes as a huge unexpected change is that through all of this like serendipity coming for you and all of these beautiful unexpected changes and improvements, there is huge hope on the horizon for something that you had only dreamt of that is like a huge financial investment. We have so much earth sign energy, which is the energy of things that are material. And one thing I'm getting here in Hope on the Horizon is like home ownership, owning something that you can either live in or that can serve as a rental. Leave a little house emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you are here, that you made it to this point of the reading, because that's the only way I would know that you're part of group number one. And I would love to see all of the little houses below. Oh, and feel free to also leave some other emojis for things that you want in or around your house. Like if you leave the house emoji below and, for example, let's say a dog, you want a house with a dog. If you leave the house emoji below and you've got like a palm or some sort of wave, then that means like you want a house by the beach or by the ocean. Please just leave that below, and then we can piece the meanings together, and I will try to like even guess it and comment on some of your comments, guessing what kind of house that you wanted. I just love this. So here, back to Hope on the Horizon. You guys know I love to interact with you guys. I love reading your comments. I love getting back to them. I feel like I am one of those YouTubers that spends literally hours every day, like in the DMs, like replying to your comments, replying on Instagram. And if you don't follow me on Instagram yet, I know I don't promote it a lot. I know I'm not good at the cross promoting, but please make sure you follow me over there. I really want to get verified ASAP because there are unfortunately a lot of imposter accounts. So the link to my Instagram is in the description box, and if you just type in Vanessa Somuayina, I will show up at the top. But however, being verified would really help to ensure that nobody ever gets confused. So do make sure that you follow me on there. I post some inspirational, uplifting content and also a lot of stories with like readings on a daily basis and so on. Now, back to Hope on the Horizon. As already mentioned, something will be closer to touch than you ever expected it to be. And that is something that is an unexpected, big, beautiful surprise. The sun is one of the most favorable cards of the whole tarot. So this showing up shows us that the surprises, the changes, they're positive ones. They are ones to look forward to. Now, within the Death and Rebirth card, I love this card. I know a lot of you are afraid of snakes, and whenever I show my pet snake, Venus, on Instagram, a lot of you say, why didn't you put a trigger warning? Like, I'm afraid of snakes. Why did you just post her on your story? She is my puppy. She is my little baby. So I love snakes because not only do they represent death and rebirth and transformation, but they also represent eternity. They also represent an eternal chance for life. And here within death and rebirth, I want you to know that what comes as a huge unexpected change is actually a birth. Sooner than you thought, a birth. Okay, we have literally a human baby here within this egg. Let me show you this. And because we have the sun, because we have all of these positive indications, right? Hope on the horizon, endless serendipity. I want you to know here that this actually does represent the birth of a child that is going to make an impact on your life, a huge impact. And this is a beautiful, beautiful reading that in group number 1, I'm just already so excited for you. I just love whenever your readings uncover these really intriguing but also very precise messages. And we've also got abundance again. So we spoke about abundance, we spoke about serendipity, we spoke about you literally owning more than you ever thought you would. And here we have different symbols of abundance and serendipity. So we have a full fruit basket and also some wheat. It may be a little small, but I do have a 4K camera, so you should be able to see that. We also have some little birds and chicks here in the nest that just hatched. We have the rabbit, which is symbolic of, for one, fertility and also newborns, but also luck and abundance and serendipity. And of course, we have this beautiful big dragon kind of creature here that is protecting you, that's watching over you, that's seeing all of this serendipity happening. And this is like your spirit animal that's with you, that's not leaving your side, because group number 1, you deserve to have this abundance and serendipity be protected and watched over, and to finally enjoy some of the things that you did forego when you were working so hard to get to where you are and you were being humble and down to earth. Now, group number 1, what I'm going to proceed to do is clear and cleanse the space, and then I'll be right back so we can move more deeply into your reading, because Spirit for sure has more messages about the next big unexpected changes that are coming for you. You don't need to do anything but hold on tight, relax, enjoy, and I'll be right back with you. All right, group number 1, I'm so excited for us to delve a little more deeply into your reading about the next big unexpected changes that are coming for you. I hope that you're feeling just as excited and comfortable as I am. So let's see what your guides have to say. We're going to pick a spirit animal that will explain a lot of your situation. We've got the hawk. Now, the hawk is indicative of you seeing things from a higher perspective, and quite literally speaking, going somewhere high up. So a mountain region from where you feel like you can see very, very clearly, not just literally, but also figuratively is what I meant to say, group number 1. So going on a hike or like long walk soon, where you will be at the top of this, not necessarily like a big mountain, it can also be the top of a hill, but you just feel like you're free, like you have this overview, and like it's giving you more clarity in the rest of your life too, because nature can just be healing like that. Next, we've got the bat for you. So we have 2 of these winged beings that can see things from a completely different perspective than all of us who are on the ground, right? Who are on earth. Speaking of the ground, I literally, one of my books just fell out of nowhere. So Spirit is trying to say, yes, on the ground. And the thing is, the higher you are, the more you can fall, so to say. But I want you to get rid of that narrative completely, because why would you fall when you've got wings? Why would you fall when your body is literally constructed to fly, when that is something that comes more natural than anything else? So can we forget this whole mentality of, oh, the higher you are, the just deeper or higher you'll fall from? No, you're naturally meant to be a winner, group number 1. You are not someone who's going to fall. Just like you are not someone who gives up. You are not someone who just quits. Next up, we've got the beaver. Now, the beaver brings us back to ground, but the beaver is actually a symbol of different types of environments being built and being created. So I see that you will go and have a look at homes. We spoke about how something is coming closer than it's ever been, like home ownership, like moving to a different apartment, like a different living space. And I see here that the way for you to make the right decision is to go and see it with someone else who has a very, very like keen eye, just as the hawk, someone who is very detail oriented, and they will be able to tell you whether this is a good idea for you or not. I see here within the bear that you're coming out of a place of hibernation, and you're the type of person who knows what they want, and you've been burnt out for a while. You've been doing some work, some healing, and now it's time for some change and some movement. You are done with where you're at geographically right now. You're ready for some upgrades energetically, but also when it comes to your environment. And Spirit is saying yes. Spirit is saying you are supported in this, all right? Remember, you chose the carnelian crystal, the crystal of action, of getting things done, of fearlessness. And I see a lot of that in you as well, a lot of fearless energy and a lot of this change from the inside out. Then we've also got the lapis lazuli. This is a stone of decision making. The lapis lazuli has been used throughout centuries of the human history, also in order to create paintings, because look at this very like intense, beautiful blue. It has been used for paintings, for art creations, and of course as a stone that was put into different pieces of jewelry. It always reminds me of Vampire Diaries and the lapis lazuli bracelet that was, necklace that was profoundly important and powerful. And that's also something that makes me love lapis lazuli. I also love wearing it as like bracelets. Lapis lazuli is just an amazing stone that helps you to be decisive. Next up, we've got the agate. Now, the agate is a stone that helps bring you back to balance, and what comes as a huge unforeseen change is that actually balance for you is coming to a new home and no longer being where you are right now. Right now, things are not in the type of quote-unquote balance that you need them to be, and the chrysoprase brings a message of allowing yourself to receive. So you're going to have help of some sorts when it comes to moving, the acquisition of your new home. That could be in the form of like a mortgage or help from other family members, either helping you carry things, pack things, financially helping you as well. And Spirit is trying to say to you, make a decision now. There's nothing wrong with asking for help, and it doesn't make you a burden. It doesn't make you a bad person. I think group number one, sometimes for you, you feel, I don't want to say too proud, but we all have a certain sense of pride or ego, and it can be hard for you to actually go out there and ask people for help because you don't want to seem as though you can't cope with your own things. You don't want to ask people for help who have their own issues and their own problems. You're just a very like caring person like that and very thoughtful. So you don't want anyone to be stressed out because of you or to have any extra burden. Let's see what else Spirit has to say. I'll just put your letters right here. We've got T, L, A, and V. I love this. So VALT, I'm getting like Valentine's vibes. I do want to add some extra letters into your reading. We also have B and O and E. What I'm of course immediately seeing here is that we have got love. So love is an important part of your life and of the next big unexpected changes. And then we also have A, B, and T. I'm getting tab, love tab, or love bat. So with the bat and love, I want you to know that you are finding love in someone whose spirit animal is actually the bat. Now, having the bat as a spirit animal, quite literally speaking, like an air sign type of vibe, it shows us here that when it comes to love, you need someone who is logical. You need someone who sees the big picture and who plans ahead. What I also really love for you, group number one, is that love with the bat spirit, that is someone who is genuine. That is someone who doesn't like to be the center of attention. They would rather you be the center of attention, and they kind of like mind their own business. They're not an argumentative type of individual, and I'm really loving that energy for you, group number one. And the flamingo spirit brings us the message that now is the time for you to embrace the in-between. Of course, the big unexpected next changes that are coming for you will put you in a little bit of an in-between stage, especially if you are moving out and moving into a new home. You may, for a while, go back to parents, stay with friends. You get the idea, just kind of do like an in-between thing. The flamingo spirit is telling you to embrace that, to not be afraid of it, and also not take it as like a step back, if you will. Don't take it as though it's something negative or as though in a way there's something to be embarrassed about. Not at all. The flamingo spirit is all about embracing the fact that for the bigger picture, for the delayed gratification, you are fine with putting up with whatever you need to put up with. And here within the vulture spirit, remember that nothing is wasted. All of these experiences that show that if need be, you can be resourceful, you can be practical, you can step off of being like on a high horse, not that you're on a high horse type of person, but you get what I'm trying to say. All of these experiences are important. They're all not wasted, because not only do you show yourself that you're this person who can deal with anything and who can cope in any situation, and that you have these survival skills, really, it also shows others that you are the type of individual that understands any situation that someone else may be in. So you are a very like relatable human being and individual, and that's also why a lot of people love you. A lot of people want to be around you. Now, here within the yoke, I want you to understand that this shows up when there are feelings of tiredness and frustration that need to be dealt with. And here with love and the bat, your person that you are meant to be with, before meeting you, they felt tired, they felt frustrated, they were done. They felt as though they are not equally yoked with anyone. Like they just have to always put up with the leftovers, so to say. Like they don't have anyone out there that is meant for them until they met you. And I also see here within the kite, you will be able to meet this person on a beautiful vacation if you haven't already met them. Now, meeting on a vacation, taking some time away from the real world together is magical. It's like being in your own romantic story, like your own rom-com, basically. And I do see here that that just changes everything for your person. And once you've got your person, they will never want to let you go. They want to be together forever, because they know they won't be able to find someone like you so easily. Group number one. Let's move a little further into it. I love this Lemuria deck. This is a Beyond Lemuria deck. These oracle cards are so gorgeous. Look at what we've got here, the throat chakra. All right, so group number one, the throat chakra shows us that now's the time for you to express your truth, and what comes as a huge unexpected change is a transformation you did not expect to take place within your life, a transformation that will give you wings. We have so many wings here. So I'm getting like wing tattoo. I'm getting like butterfly tattoo. I'm getting someone who is involved within your life that has this symbol on or around them. And here within the throat chakra, I want you to know that this is also a symbol of freeing yourself from holding things in and letting them out, letting them go, so that you no longer feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. And I see here that you will be able to communicate very clearly what you want from a future partner. Your bat is going to take it and run with it, because they've got nothing but love for you. And because here within the yoke, they felt kind of like tired, frustrated, and tied down in singlehood. Once they have found you and they've been able to kind of like not convince you to be with them, but get you to like them, there's no breaking up with you. There's no leaving the relationship, because they know what they've got and they know it's rare, and they're treating it as such. Now, group number one, this is the reading that I received for you, and I hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Feel free to let me know below. Don't forget, we're putting together our house emojis in the comment section. And if you made it all the way to this point of the reading and you enjoyed being in this healing, beautiful, positive space of the internet, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. We are on our road to 1 million subscribers. I know we will get there, group number one. And all I ask of you is that tiny little bit of support on our journey of growing this super positive, beautiful, radiant community. I mean, we see it in the comment section, we see it on Instagram. Literally, my community, or our community, the Unicorn family, the most positive space I've ever seen on the internet. Literally the kindest, most supportive tribe, individuals, and army that I've ever seen, ever come across. So make sure that you become part of that group number 1. I can't wait to welcome you. And I also cannot wait to catch up with you during one of my upcoming readings. Hello, my gorgeous soul of group number 2. Welcome to your psychic reading about the next big unexpected changes that are coming towards you. You chose the Star Spinner Tarot as well as the clear quartz crystal, the number 1, and the symbol of Mars to help guide us through your reading. My name is Vanessa Somuayina. To date, I have conducted thousands of individual readings right here on YouTube, but also offline. And I can't wait for us to get into this reading and for me to use my intuition as well as the tarot cards in order for us to figure out everything you need to know. Now, in case you weren't aware of this, you may have felt drawn to this crystal in combination to this deck and these symbols, because the clear quartz is actually a cleansing type of stone. It is said to remove any type of negativity and unwanted energies and to keep your space energetically clear and clean. I'll just put it up here for you. Then we also have the number 1 as well as the symbol of Mars. Now, Mars is a heavenly body that is about assertiveness, taking the initiative, and also being independent and pioneering. And the number 1 goes beautifully with this heavenly body because the number 1 is about just that, new beginnings, being pioneering, being different, not being afraid to take the lead, and also to be the person that puts their foot down and says no when necessary. So your guides are definitely seeing some changes in your attitude that are coming towards us that we didn't expect, that are actually going to give you a lot more of a sense of respect from others. Now, here within the 7 of coins, I want you to understand that amongst your peers and your family, what comes as a big change is that you're realizing that not only are you different or have you always been different, but you also just kind of don't understand their life goals. Just like you're sitting here like this almost like regal princess queen mixture, and they are here within the geese and they have a different way of life, a different way of being, different goals and aspirations, a different language, and you just kind of feel a little bit like the odd one out. And like moving forward, you know that you're going to end up in a completely different place than they are, and that's not a bad thing, especially if you have huge goals. Of course, your end point is going to look different than theirs. I see here within the lovers that along the way, picking up a romantic love partnership and relationship that is going to be one for the books is destined to be yours, group number 2. Now, the lovers shows partnership, it shows equality, it shows both of you maybe even sinning a little bit, but having a good time. It's all consensual, it's all fun, it is all love here within the lovers card. And I want you to also understand that moving forward, what comes as an unexpected surprise is that actually it makes you feel so much less alone once you got this person in your life, because you feel like you are both equally yoked, like you are both cut from the same cloth. You understand in arguments, for example, up to what degree you can go at each other, but you have limits, you have barriers that you just don't cross. And that's one thing that you love about your love story. Here within the star card, which is a very positive card, we have a reiteration of the number 7, because the 7 of coins already brought us this number. Now we've got 17 within the star. The number 7 is a number actually of growth and of being someone who is like an old soul that others look up to for advice, even though they may be older than you. So if you literally had like parents, if you had aunties and uncles come to you and ask you for advice, people who were older than you in school is what I meant to say. This is your sign that this is your reading, group number 2, because here within the star, You are pouring so much into yourself that you can pour back out again. So what comes as an unexpected big change is that you will actually be given an opportunity to serve almost like as a therapist, as a big sister, as someone who helps other people with advice, but also with showing them the ropes. And I see like some philanthropic work here that you didn't expect, but you're absolutely loving it and you can't wait to do more of it. And your lover just completely supporting you and feeling like you actually have a lot of purpose, even though you're so different from friends and family. Now here within the World card, I mean, could this get any better, group number 2? Because the World card is actually a card of complete completion and of having fulfillment, of everything being in a place where there's structure, where you have boundaries that make sense and that also protect you. The World card is the last card of the major arcana within the tarot, and the tarot is made up of the major arcana as well as the minor arcana. The major arcana consists of 22 cards ranging from 0 to 21. This is the 21st card, the last card of the major arcana, which is why it actually depicts complete fulfillment and you having a life that you are proud of and that you not only worked hard for, but you actually deserve. Leave a star emoji below in the comment section, not just because we had the star show up for you, but also just to manifest, solidify, and let me and others know that you chose group number 2, because that is the only way that one would know. And here within the World card, this actually shows us that what comes as a big unexpected surprise is just your life being so much more put together, epic, beautiful, and fulfilling than you thought that it would be. Like, you had times where you thought, you don't really know if this life thing is for you. You don't really know if this being alive thing is something that you're really doing good or that you're really doing well. Excuse my grammar, group number 2, but you know what I'm trying to say. You guys always know what I'm trying to say. And I just see you being an amazing role model for others who came from the same background as you have. Here we have the King of Swords. So if you were wondering about your love story, if you were wondering about who we've got for you, we've got the King of Swords. This is someone who has air sign energy, so Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. They are a logical person. They are the type of person who loves to have intellectual conversations. They are well educated in every sense. So not only do they like to read privately, but they also have educated themselves profoundly when it comes to school. And I do see here within the King of Swords that they are looking at this from a long-term kind of viewpoint. Okay, they're here looking through the looking glass and thinking to themselves, all right, this is really someone with whom I can build something with and have everything with. We have here this bird looking up to the lovers. We have a beautiful idyllic card of a romantic love where two people are coming together and they just get one another. And then we have the World, which I already explained to you is the card of ultimate fulfillment, having it all, wanting for nothing, and really just being in a place in your life where honestly, like, there is nothing that you can still ask for. There is nothing that is missing. So I want us to move a little further into your reading. Let me just bring out a different deck, because all of the decks that I have prepped and that are on my table, I just don't like how they aesthetically fit together with the Star Spinner Tarot deck, because the Star Spinner Tarot deck, it really is one of a kind. It really is a kind of different deck in the best way. I love the depictions. Oh, okay. Spirit has another message for us, group number 2. The Two of Cups. I mean, could this get any more amazing? Could the unexpected big changes coming for you be any more deep, meaningful, and just like perfect life vibes? Because the Two of Cups is actually the most favorable card when it comes to romantic love, as it shows a twin flame connection, a soulmate that you will be with forever. We've got the World, the Lovers, the Swords, getting engaged, getting married, having the kids, having the home, being together forever, and being that couple that is going to celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary. That's what I'm getting here for you, that Spirit really wanted to just reiterate and make clear within this tarot card reading, because if that has been stressing you out, group number 2, this is the clarity about the unexpected big changes that are coming for you, that you needed to hear, that you had to receive. So next up we have the Four of Wands, which is a card of building a stable foundation and home with another person, and feeling this togetherness of understanding one another and being on the same page about how finances should work, how the home should work, what your goals are individually, but also as a couple, and what your goals are when it comes to offspring and kids, where they should go to school, what kind of professions that you think you should open the door for them to be able to access, and also where you want to build all of this, like what town and city you want to live in, the postcode, the area where you want to send your kids to school. You're discussing all of this way ahead of time, because planning is something that I see here brings this kind of sense of not just stability, but also reiterating that you are with the right person. So next up, we have hope on the horizon for you. Now, my gorgeous soul of group number 2, a big unexpected change that is actually coming for you right after you have received this reading is hope for a love life that you didn't think was repairable, that you didn't think would have this amazing outcome, like hope for a life that is basically picture perfect. Your reading is amazingly, stunningly positive. We started off with you feeling kind of out of place or feeling like the black sheep here in the 7 of Coins. And then how things progressed from you feeling like the odd one out. It's very clear why this is the case or why this happened, because you are meant to be the odd one out in the most fulfilling way of having the best relationships of anyone in your circle, having the most stable marriage, the most fulfilled life. There's a reason why you're different, group number 2. Now, in updates to your system, Spirit wants to quite literally give you a software update so that you will associate and assimilate with this version of yourself, because you are not meant to be this person that feels as though they have to struggle, or this happiness and this contentment is not meant to be for them. It is meant to be for you, group number 2. And we need to update your system in different ways. Like, how are you sitting or lying or standing right now? Is it kind of slouched? Because if your body language is insecure or frequently not in good form, Spirit wants to update you on the fact that your confidence immediately is boosted and increases when you give your system that update of, hey, I stand straight, I keep my shoulders back, I make sure that also like my head is in a position that shows confidence, that my entire posture shows that I'm confident, that I know what I'm doing and I know what I want, because I do, and I'm not going to allow anyone to think otherwise. So updating your system can also be seen from the outside, group number 2. And here within murky waters, I want you to know that at first it may seem a little murky, a little unclear what the next big super exciting changes are that are coming for you. But the more you have these updates to your system and you stand up tall, straight, you become confident, you go out, you leave your house more frequently, you're more social, you are just overall in a different space, you will actually find like, wow, I am bossing up for real, and I'm meeting the best people along the way, the best potential lovers, the most amazing friendships, the most amazing business partnerships. I do want you to understand here that when it comes to you having these unexpected next big surprises within your life, these are all positive. These are all surprises of love, fulfillment, being more of a boss than you thought you were, and just knocking it out of the park, group number 2. I'm so excited for this reading and for the next big unexpected changes that are coming for you, because they're all simply amazing and mesmerizing. What I do feel compelled to do right now is to clear and cleanse a space for you so we can delve even more deeply into your reading, group number 2. You don't need to lift a finger, you don't need to do anything, simply lean back, relax, and enjoy. As I clear the space, I cleanse the space. Of course, as previously mentioned, don't forget to leave that star emoji below in the comment section. You can also take this time to subscribe to my channel while you're already here, and then I'll be right back for us to delve even more deeply into your tarot reading. All right, group number 2, let's get a little further into it, shall we? I can't wait for us to figure out some more of these big, unexpected changes that are coming for you. Now, first up, we've got water, and water represents an overflow. Water is the element of your emotions, but also the element of cleansing and of being able to have an overflow. An overflow means an abundance. That means more than enough. And as you can see here, we have this heart opening. We have this very like serene kind of vibe when it comes to water. And I can see that what comes as an unexpected change is actually having an overflow and abundance that you haven't experienced before. If you had a little bit of a challenging childhood, or even one in which your parents like struggled a little bit with the finances to keep it together, to provide, to also make sure that you didn't feel it or sense it, and that the rest of the family, you know, your siblings didn't feel like something was off, then I just want you to know here that this is for the first time like a sense of not being worried or afraid about these things. And it's so relieving. It's something that's so calming. And I see here within the violet flame that actually what comes as a huge unexpected surprise is that you will intuitively also know what to do with your overflow. So rather than getting things that you don't need to impress people who don't really care about you, you're actually investing any overflow that you're getting into different kind of places that make sense, into different containers that make sense. So be it, for example, stocks, be it real estate, be it investing into other assets that you find to be a great return on your investment in a couple years down the line. And you've kind of just outgrown the part of you that feels like it needs to show off or come across a certain way in front of other people. You don't need that. You just want to be yourself. You want to be authentic. You want to do your own thing. And you don't care about whether other people think that you're wealthy or you're kind of from like an upper echelon. That's something that you really just don't even care about. And I see here within the elephant spirit that you've learned from your past. You've learned from times in which you kind of made those things more important than they really were. You maybe gave them more meaning than they deserved. And the elephant spirit definitely shows us here that you had your phase where you were still concerned about how others viewed you, and others not viewing you as poor or as not having enough and fitting in and wearing like the brands and the clothes and the things that others were rocking and sporting. And the elephant spirit just shows us here that you've grown beyond that. You've learned from the past, and it's just no longer something you're concerned about. And the elephant spirit is also a card that actually corresponds to number 25, and then here within the violet flame we've got 52, so it's like a reversal of those two numbers, and they go hand in hand with one another. So when you see the number 25, once you've received your reading, you go back into your day-to-day life, know that the number 25 for you, group number 2, stands as a number of growth, of having learned from the past and having grown from a place where you felt like you had to prove yourself. Now, next up, we have the dog spirit. I love that the dog spirit showed up for you, because what this shows is that a big unexpected change is a really deep emotional connection to a puppy, to a dog that is extremely loyal to you, even though this dog understands that you care about it. This dog is a dog that maybe even looks quite similar to this one, with like the length of the snout, the way the eyes look, and so on. But for you, you're a very like animal friendly, animal loving type of person. And seeing an animal that is so selflessly loyal, so selflessly dedicated to you, just makes you want to take care of it even more. And I do want you to know here in the dog spirit and water that there will be opportunity for you to take the unexpected change of adopting another dog or adopting like an animal that is very loyal to you. But I do also see here in the koala spirit that your guides have a plan when it comes to this. We've got 35 here, and the plan is not to do that right now. We don't have capacity for more right now. We need more of you, group number 2. We need you to look out for yourself more, to do things for you more frequently, to get used to being quote unquote selfish, or shall I say just taking care of your needs for the first time in your life, and then therefore being the best version of yourself and being able to give back to others and actually being able to provide for those that you care the most for, because yeah, you've taken care of yourself, and that's something that you haven't been accustomed to doing. But I do want you to know here within the Sage that this is a card that shows us that what comes as an unexpected surprise is how quickly you're going to learn to start to feel comfortable in this role of actually caring for yourself first, putting yourself first, learning from the past, and also discovering that the more you put yourself first, actually the better you do in life. And I see here within the crone that with understanding the power of putting yourself first comes an immense sense of not just pride and comfort and feeling courageous, but also having respect on an external level from others. I see you wearing dark clothes moving forward, and these dark clothes always make you feel just that extra little bit more powerful, that extra little bit more mysterious. And I see you wearing dark clothes that are pretty long, okay? So jeans that go down obviously to your ankles, long dresses. And another thing that I see here is some dark emerald green details or some very dark blue hues. And I do also see that when it comes to makeup, if that's something that you choose to wear, having your signature colors coming from a place of it representing who you are from the inside out, representing not just your voice, but how you feel, representing your creativity, representing your character. And I do want you to understand here that what comes next is a big surprise. Returning back to your readings and the unexpected big changes that are also coming within your appearance, and you kind of changing up your signature look and having that be an upgrade. I see here within the Two of Coins that actually your work-life balance is what comes as the biggest change next that you didn't expect. Having a lot more of the balance in your work-life situation and being able to actually organize everything in a way that you've got time for friends, family, working out, going grocery shopping, doing your tax returns, making sure that you're still getting all of the work done for your professional life, studying. I see here within the Two of Coins that balancing that out is what comes easily to you in the next couple weeks and months. Now, within the Seven of Wands, it is clear that why this comes as a big unexpected change is because actually you've got a lot of work projects that you have to deal with that were given to you and that you cannot turn down. But with a lot of responsibility also comes a lot that is given to you financially. So what comes as a big unexpected change is that through proving yourself and your work ethic, you're actually just given more responsibility and more opportunities professionally. And the Judgment card shows us that you are actually destined to be one of the youngest people ever to accomplish what you're accomplishing professionally in your field. So you don't know anyone who is as young as you, who has this managerial kind of, I don't want to say CEO position, but leadership position, and teaching others who are older than you how to be more effective, literally others who have been in the game and been in this career for way longer than you have, and yet they have so much that they can learn from you and so much growth that you're able to provide them with. And you're being put in so many positions of being the leader, being the one that kind of says what happens next, what comes next, and being unafraid of the fact that, yeah, you've got this. The Queen of Coins shows us that you've got confidence that radiates from the inside out, and when it comes to anything coin related, anything earthly realm related, that you are 100% trustworthy with investments, financially speaking, while others would see like a lot of money that they can play around with or they can even take and use however they want. You're the type of person who is completely trustworthy, and if you're being told to use it in a certain way, you will do it just like that. You are not playing around with these things. And the Queen of Coins is indicative of the fact that you are in it for the long haul. You do not care about just getting flashy things. You don't have shiny object syndrome. And you understand that your biggest asset is what you've got in your body and in your mind. Remember here within the Elephant Spirit, you've learned from the past. Another thing is that you've also realized you have these tusks, and a lot of people actually are crazy about you because you've got these tusks and they're very valuable, and this is part of your external facade. So what I mean by this is, in case you didn't know, in case you haven't seen, I think it's called The Ivory Game on Netflix, there is actually a black market for ivory and for tusks of elephants. And it is this whole entire system. It's very sad, but at the same time very eye-opening to watch such a documentary. So would recommend. Please watch it and then come back and let me know how you loved it, because I know that you will find it mind-blowing and super interesting if you haven't already seen it. And I want you to remember that you have something about you that is super different, super valuable. Your hair, for example, the way that your face is shaped, your skin and its texture, its smoothness. I see here within the elephant spirit that some of your physical attributes and traits are very sought after. And the thing is, like, you don't want to be fetishized. You're not in the mood for someone to like you just because of how you look. But I want to remind you of the fact that you do have that effect on a lot of people. And you're going to have to weed those out from the ones that you find to be genuinely interested in you and genuinely want to be with you for all of the right reasons. So let's get a little more deeply into this. Group number 2, I can't believe I'm going to be picked up in like 8 hours by my family. I'm going on a flight. It's like 12 at night, 12 a.m. here in Switzerland right now. And I just felt so compelled and called by Spirit to conduct this reading that yeah, I forego sleep when I feel called to. That's why my readings are so accurate. That is why you guys always tell me that it resonates, because I create the readings when I'm called to. I bring tarot out when Spirit tells me to, not when I feel like, oh, I must film. Next up, we have the Knave of Wands. Now, within the Knave of Wands, I do see here that someone has piercing eyes that they've got on you, and they are very intrigued by how you got here. Now, you are the type of person here with the Knave of Wands that can teach them a lot about business, and you're almost becoming like a mentor to someone younger than you, someone with slicked back hair, someone who has like shaved hair on the side, piercing blue eyes, and they're the type of person that really wants to accomplish a lot, like more than they have up until this point. And what I also see here within the King of Swords is that actually you gel way more with people younger than you and people who are very motivated than people who are old school and super conservative, because in a way, without even it being like your intention, you often rub these conservatives the wrong way. And by conservatives, I just mean people who have not really arrived in 2024. And without even knowing it, they're always like butthurt. They feel like you've got something against them. They feel like there's some sort of like conspiracy going on, and you just don't even have the time or energy for it. So you prefer to deal with people who are younger biologically and younger in spirit. And I see that that's where you really thrive. And a lot of them love coming to you for inspiration, but also for advice. So I want us to just see what Spirit has to say if we add some letters into your reading intuitively. So we have Laar. So I'm getting Lara as a name. It's actually a pretty common name, I would say, here in like the German speaking parts of the world. So Lara being a name that is going to appear. Add a few more letters into your reading, because why not? So we also received E as well as another R. So double R, double A, and then we also have E, which is a very interesting combination for us to receive here. So what I am getting, if we want to spell something out, is real. And then we also have AR. So initials of AR, and them being a real one, them being someone who is trustworthy. I also want you to know here with real as well as AR that we have someone who is real. So in case you were wondering whether you can trust this individual, they are in fact a real one. And I do see some huge changes coming within your work dynamic, because you're a very direct person, you're a very real person, you will tell the truth. And because of this, the people whom you rub the wrong way are going to stay out of your way, and the people who are innovative and want to grow and actually want to make amazing changes to the company and want to excel, they're the ones that are going to come closer and kind of like rally around you, if you will. Now, my beautiful soul of group number 2, this is the reading that I received for you. I hope that you found it insightful and that it resonated with you. Wherever you are in this world, I'm sending you love, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming readings. Hello, my lovely soul of group number 3, and welcome to your reading about the unexpected big changes that are coming for you. Now, you chose the White Newman Tarot deck as well as the Lapis Lazuli. Then we've got the number 8 as well as the symbol of Leo. Let's start off with Leo, which is a zodiac sign that is ruled by the sun. And then we also have the number 8, which is symbolic of eternity. As you know, 8 put on its side is that infinity symbol. So forever being in a situation that is sunny, that's when what I see as an unexpected change coming for you, especially if you've been through the ringer, if you've had a challenging and difficult childhood growing up, be it through toxic parents, poverty, or just overall always feeling like the odd one out and the black sheep. I just want you to know, also in connectivity to the Lapis Lazuli, it is something that was destined to happen to you, not because the universe has anything against you, but because actually you were chosen to be one of these people who stand out later in life in the best possible way because you have overcome these trials and tribulations. I see here with injustice that actually you are the type of person who would make an amazing judge. Not that you're necessarily in a situation where you want to be a judge or want to become one, but when it comes to dealing with other people and actually standing up for the underdog, seeing who is quote-unquote right and who is quote-unquote wrong in a situation, you're a very subjective type of person. Like, even if it is someone that you know who has done something that's dead wrong to a stranger, you will tell them. You will not just let them think that what they did was okay. I do see here with injustice that you hate any type of unfairness. You are a very giving, generous type of person, and you can't stand when others are extremely selfish or only basically care about the bottom line and what they can gain from any given situation. Here within the King of Cups, I do see that for you, group number 3, you are like the one that is the head of your family, the glue that sticks everything together and keeps everything together in a way that is actually so downplayed. People don't realize that if it wasn't for you keeping the balance and keeping the peace, how much things would change. And it's okay, group number 3, you are the type of person that gets their roses later in life. You are always in a situation where it's like you don't take credit when credit is due. And then it takes a little moment till people realize, oh, actually, you are mega important, and you are the type of person that doesn't want to put themselves out into the spotlight for others to praise you. You would rather them kind of even notice the hard way, if necessary, what you bring to the table and what they're missing out on, rather than like tell them and give them an opportunity to course correct. You'd rather see how people really are. And I see what comes as a huge unexpected change here within the Fool is actually a completely fresh beginning in your life, completely new start, turning the page and things never being the same again. And here in correspondence to the King of Cups, I see that this is by choice. This is not happening to you in a way that makes you feel helpless or like you couldn't do anything in order to steer it. This was your choice. And this card popped right out of the pile as we were shuffling, which is the Page of Cups. You know why your life is completely changing in unexpected, huge ways. It's because you've decided that you just want to experience something different and you want to experience everything that life has to offer. You are not interested in living a mediocre or mundane life. You want to experience really big, fun, and unusual things. And in order to do that, yeah, you understand that you also have to work really hard and you have to put in a lot of extra effort, and you're willing to do that. The thing is just like you want all of the energetic exchanges to be here in balance. You don't want to be putting in overtime all of this work, and then when you actually get to the point when it's time to cash in, there's nothing there. So you are being more stern than you've been in the past. You are making sure that people are paying you what you're quote unquote worth and what you've worked for. No more excuses. The Emperor shows us just that, a version of you that is like an emperor. The emperor is the ruler. The emperor is the one that plans ahead. And what comes as a huge change for you is actually a little bit of a hardening of your rules and boundaries when it comes to your finances and your professional life. In the past, because you were so nice and so accommodating, some people seemingly got ahead of you because they just took that opening and that door that you left there. They ran through it, and you realize there are a lot of people out here who don't even have close to the type of heart that you have. And honestly, there's no point in expecting them to have that heart, to feel that way. Let people do as they please, but at the same time, you've gotten up, you're done being a doormat, and you're not allowing for anyone to walk all over you ever again. You've been there, done that, got the postcard, and now it's time for you to win and time for you to move on from that, because you don't play about your future, you don't play about your finances, you're not playing about your future family either. Here within the Ace of Wands, you just have a completely different outlook and worldview. And this different outlook and worldview comes with a new responsibility of following through on it. And I want you to leave a globe emoji below in the comment section if you're part of group number 3, because that's the only way anyone would know. And that is also going to manifest a new world into being. You're not only speaking it into existence, you're typing it, you're making it a real thing. And the Magician is actually a card of a master manifestor being right here with us now. Group number 3. I know this may shock you, this may be something that you didn't know, but you are actually one of those manifestation magnets who can set their mind to something and accomplish it in way more rapid time frames than other people. All right, others would have to work at it for a very, very long time. Others would have to kind of have that extra bit of luck, that extra bit of prosperity, that extra funding, and you are able to just create something from nothing. And the Knave of Chalices actually shows me here that in many ways you've had friends who hoped that they could have the same, and when they got jealous about all of the ways in which you were thriving, all of the ways in which you actually received from the universe, both financially as well as energetically, they literally folded and started to hope that you would lose all of it again. And that's what I see here within the Knave of Chalices, that it's important for you to only associate with other people who are secure in themselves, because otherwise you are surrounding yourself here with the King of Wands, which is someone who is highly competitive, and you don't need that group number 3. I do see that what comes as a huge change to you actually is that when you see that someone is like this, when you see that someone doesn't have your best interest at heart, actually you don't even entertain it anymore. You don't ask questions. You don't try to figure out why. You simply pack your things and leave, literally and figuratively, because you just don't have the energy for it. You're too old for these games, group number 3. Like, what? No, you've already been through so much with friendships, especially being backstabbed and being that person who's always pushed out of the group. Oh, especially when it's like a group of 3 people. For sure, you are always the first one that the others kind of go behind your back and talk about, and then they push you out of the group, and you're like the odd one out, the one who's then alone. And I see within you, group number 3, that you actually have nothing but forgiveness for these people. You have nothing but a pure heart, pure intent, simply minding your own business, and actually in a sense feeling sorry for them, because you know that being kicked out of a group is one thing, but being so insecure that you are the one who has to kick others out of the group, and you can't simply let them be, let them exist, and let them be part. No, that's way harder to change, and that's something way harder to overcome and to grow from. Now, within protection, you've actually always been divinely protected. I need to tell you something, group 3. The thing is, you should have literally been struck by lightning, but you were protected miraculously. This was something that happened a couple years ago as you were out and the weather changed. There was a lot of like stormy weather, rain, lightning. And the thing here with you is that you've always been very protected by your guides and by your angels. So while someone else would have been extremely unlucky, you're actually the one who always, always finds a way to come out unscathed. Now within enlightenment for you, group number 3, I do see like a deep sense of an aha moment, of feeling as though you have reached this new stage of your spirituality, of your spiritual journey. And because you have reached this new stage, you are actually not surprised by how protected that you are and how much spirit actually keeps you away from anything that doesn't serve you and isn't meant for you. What also comes as a big change for you is actually a cruise situation where you will be on the open ocean in some sort of like, it's a catamaran sailboat situation. And while others have run into a storm and the ship has kind of gone belly up, that's not happening for you, because you are in situations where of course things could go wrong, and it can be that very, very fine line between success and things going belly up and upside down and being in the water. But I want you to know that you are always protected. You're always that person where people think, how in the hell are they like doing this? How in the hell are they the type of person who always gets away unscathed? Like, can I learn from them how they're able to always be lucky? That's one thing that I can see here. That is the vibe around you. Now, group number 3, this is the reading that I've received so far. What I am now going to do is clear and cleanse the space so we can move more deeply into it. I would like for you to simply hold on tight. You don't need to do anything, but continue to relax, and we will delve even more deeply into your tarot reading. All right, group number 3, let's get into your reading, shall we? I am so excited to figure out what else that Spirit really, really needs you to know about the upcoming big changes that are coming for you and your life. So first up, we have the 7 of Fire. Now within the 7 of Fire, I see some big changes that are coming for you when it comes to your mindset and your confidence. Your confidence is being boosted. You're no longer who you used to be. And I see that this is actually a change that's coming from the inside out, because your body is changing, quite literally speaking. The size of your body, the texture of your skin, the amount of muscle mass that you've got on you, that is completely changing how you feel about yourself when it comes to the energetic frequency that you bring when you enter a room, and the confidence. Like when someone tries to say to you or give you the feeling like you're not all that or you're not special, you literally just look at them as like, okay, so then be gone. Like, I don't need you. I see this very self-assured type of energy. You don't need anyone's confirmation or for anyone to give you validation. Like, you know you are the prize. And here within the Maiden, I want you to know that you have this very youthful, fun, young energy that a lot of people wish that they had. And the thing here within the Maiden is that you are on your journey from maiden to mother, figuratively, in the sense of going from this youthful, fun, loving energy to an energy that is a little bit more, I don't want to say serious, but just a little bit more mature and grown up. But this youthful energy is actually something that has kept you with this baby face that you have, with this very young appearance. So it has served you in many ways. What I see comes as a big unexpected change is actually here within union, that for you being in a relationship, be it a platonic or a romantic one, it is important to be a team for you. I see here within the union that you're not the type of person who likes to be in competition with those that you love. You don't see the point in it, and I don't either, to be honest with you, group number 3. And you just obviously are always the cheerleader. And I see that what comes as a huge change is that within a relationship, actually you are the fun, young, really cool one And the changes that that brings is that in the dynamic, you are always treated in a special way. You will always be treated here, as I see in the King of Fire, as the important ingredient to make everything more fun, to make everything more authentic, everything more passionate, youthful, intense, and amazing. Like, people love having you as a quote unquote party guest, just like as a person who is around them, because they know if they invite you, if you're part of what's happening, it's going to be fun. If you're part of what we're doing, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be enjoyable. So the King of Fire does also show me here that you will be invited to a lot more parties and get-togethers than you even have time to attend. But what comes as a big change to you here within the Seven of Cups is that growing up, you were never like the cool kid. You were never the one who was picked first or invited to everyone's birthday party. And that really stung and hurt you and made you, in a sense, a little bit insecure about some parts of yourself. And now being the one that is the cool one, being the one who doesn't have certain like responsibilities that other peers of yours have, that is just holding them back from living their best life, all of a sudden now look who's laughing. Now look who's the cool one. Now look who's the one who gets invited to absolutely everything. And I see here within the Fool, which is the beginning, which we spoke about earlier, like you're having a completely fresh start to your life. And I want you to understand within the Fool that this also shows innocence that radiates from you. And connected to the Maiden, one of the most attractive traits with you is actually this feeling of innocence that people get when they are with you, because they feel as though you have a very pure, innocent soul and nature. You're the type of person that is trustworthy, who would never hurt another person intentionally. And especially people who are extremely in their divine masculine, believe it or not, they love that type of energy, because it also makes them feel a lot more safe in expressing their emotions to you, which is something they don't usually do. And the Four of Wands shows me here. Group number 3, what's coming as a huge change is like you are literally like a man magnet. You're literally the magnet for divine masculine energy, because you make them feel safe, you make them feel strong and big, and like they're the type of person that you trust, that you lean on, that you count on, and that just makes them feel really important and amazing about themselves. And who doesn't want to feel that way about themselves, right? And especially divine masculine men, big men, men who would never shed a tear in public. Those are the ones who are really drawn to you. And here within the Seven of Coins reverse, I want you to know that now it's also time for a little bit of harvesting. So by harvesting, I mean some of the big unexpected changes is that the fruit that you planted and thought would take longer to actually ripen and to be ready for you to harvest is actually like, it's ready, it's here. Like, we are able to take a bite of the forbidden apple that we grew from a little sapling into a tree that then actually had these fruit hanging off of it. And I want you to know that that entire process happening a lot more quickly than you expected it to means that you also need to react when it's time for you to harvest, when it's time for you to take, to receive, and to enjoy the things that you worked so hard for. Don't be shy, group number 3. Also ask for whatever it is that you want, all right? Because asking for what you want is not wrong. Actually, the faster you learn to do so, the quicker you will be able to grow and become better at things. Now with the agate, I can see here that getting back into balance is something that you didn't expect to happen so quickly around you. Getting back into balance in the sense of, I see family rifts that are balancing themselves out, and where something that seemed like it was irreparable is actually able to mend, to come back together, and to be fine, just fine, with all of the people who are involved in it. Next up, we've got the carnelian. So it's also time for you to feed your creativity, group number 3, and that is something in which you will find that unifying your body and the creativity is going to change you completely. It's going to come as an unexpected change when you're singing, you're literally painting, you're writing, and your body just feels all of a sudden so much better. It's almost like your brain is getting like a massage or something. When you're feeding your creativity, it feels like the blood is flowing more freely, more easily through your system, and like there's nothing holding you back. Like everything just happens so effortlessly. It's almost like, quote unquote, having taken a substance. Not that I would know what that feels like, but that's what I envision that it feels like. And just being in this zone, being in your flow state, enjoying that, feeding your creativity, and seeing how it's like a full body experience to actually be 100% in your creative flow state and just enjoying it, like taking it all in and creating something that is out of this world. Like, for example, artists create songs, painters create art, I create my readings, my YouTube videos. You get the vibe, group number 3. Now, group 3, this is the reading that I received for you, and I hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful, that you vibed with it. Feel free to comment below and let me know. You guys know I love reading all of your comments. I love interacting with you. This community is just everything to me, so make sure that you leave that comment below. And wherever you are in this world, group number 3, know that I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming readings. Hello, my beautiful soul of group number 4. Welcome to your reading about the next big unexpected changes that are coming for you. You chose the Austera Tarot deck, the Sagittarius symbol, Jade, as well as the number 12. My name is Vanessa Somuayina. To date, I have published and conducted thousands of readings right here on YouTube as well as offline. I have been doing this for many years now, and I can't wait for us to get into your reading. I will be using my intuition as well as the tarot cards in order for us to unravel these messages. So first up, let's start off with the 2 symbols that you chose. Now, the number 12 has the base vibration of 3, as 1 plus 2 equals 3. The base vibration of 3 is a vibration where your guides are encouraging you to take on this next big change, which will be filled with going out more. It will be filled with you being invited to more parties, to more social gatherings and get-togethers. And I see here within the energy of Sagittarius, which you may be aware of, is a very optimistic and energetic type of honest energy. And here within 12, as well as Sagittarius, I just want you to know that of all of the 12 signs of the zodiac, Sagittarius is your jam. Sagittarius is your person and the best energy for you to be around in order for lucky big changes to come your way. In case you didn't know, the jade is a crystal of luck, prosperity, abundance, and good fortune. Especially in the East, the jade is known as a stone that brings all of this to light and to life, which may be intuitively why you felt drawn to this crystal, because your soul and your intuition just knew that you wanted to go for a stone that actually represents amazing fortune. Now, let's continue on into your reading and see precisely what the next upcoming big unexpected changes are that are making their way into your life and that are inevitably going to happen. Now, first up, group number 4, we've got the King of Fire. Here within the King of Fire, aka the King of Fire signs, in the traditional tarot, we've got the King of Wands that represents this card. Here we have it represented in the form of this deer or elk type of animal that is wearing something that resembles a crown. And we have these red, very deep reds around it. We've got movement happening. We also have some sort of saddle that's on this animal. So it is half tame, half wild. And I want you to know within the King of Fire that this shows that an unexpected big change that comes next for you is just how much you're breaking out of the norm, out of you being that tame person that everyone knew you to be, and you're becoming a completely different version of yourself. Here with the Sagittarius energy, this flows together beautifully as the King of Fire
is a representation of the Sagittarius energy within your life, as Sagittarius is a fire sign. So forward movement is inevitable with this strong, big king fire sign energy, because fire signs, they love movement. They love when things are happening. They do not like to sit still. People say Sagittarius can be extremely restless. Next up, we have the Seven of Wands for you. Now, this card shows us that there are many ways to your goal, and that is a huge change that not only is coming towards you, but you are also just realizing and becoming aware of. In many ways, you thought that you had ended up in a situation where your goals are no longer reachable. You're either too old, or you've taken a different path, or you felt as though you are not strong enough, not smart enough, and that getting to your goal would be extremely hard and not something that will happen for people like you. However, the big change coming your way, group number 4, is that you're actually seeing there are so many different ladders, actually an amount of ladders that you cannot even fathom. And these ladders all take you to different levels and all have their own unique individual path. Some of these ladders are not going to work out for you, or they're going to take you to the next level where you may be missing out on a ladder and then you have to climb back down, look for a different ladder, go up to the next kind of plateau to then find the second ladder that works, and so on and so forth. However, just know here that there are so many ways and opportunities to your goals that you haven't even considered that will lead you to the results that you desire. Let's move a little further into it, shall we? We've got the Nine of Coins. This is one of the most favorable cards actually when it comes to finances, as the Nine of Coins shows us that you are in complete control and you're protected. Do you see how you have this cougar right here? And it is as though you are sitting and laying on this couch. This couch looks like the type of couch you would find at a therapist's office. So you have this protective animal right in front of you, and all of your finances are lined up in a way how if anything comes too close, your cougar is going to get right there into it. And what this represents is having different rules, regulations, and even contracts in place that allow you to relax and lean back and enjoy and simply watch those work for you and be in motion. So you know that, for example, if someone tries to mess with you financially, you have contracts, laws, regulations in place that they have signed. And if that were to be something they attempt, well, they're not going to get very far with it. The same also goes for the things you've worked extremely hard for, having insurances, having these ways in which you are making sure, assuring yourself that you're not going to lose money unnecessarily is what I see here within the Nine of Coins. And what this brings you within the Eight of Cups is actually a sense that it's time for you to leave behind people who are constantly complaining about things such as money, such as being in a stable situation. When it comes to the earthly realm, you don't want to be around that energy anymore. You're not available for it. You are available for people who want to grow and do better, but I see that what comes as a change is that actually you don't want to be around anyone who has limiting beliefs surrounding their career and money. That's what I see here within the Eight of Cups. Then here within the Eight of Swords, I want you to understand that what comes as a big unexpected change moving forward is a little bit more of this feeling where when there's a big decision that needs to be made, you're not sure what route to choose, but what you do know is that actually making a choice is something that's inevitable and fine. You'll just go with your intuition if you need to, even if you feel as though your vision is impaired or you're unable to actually see. And here within the Eight of Swords, I want you to know that sometimes this can stop you from giving decisions a full body yes, which I understand, because you don't want to constantly go up ladders that lead to plateaus where you have to go back down the original ladder and go look for another one. So the Eight of Swords definitely shows that when you get to a certain level, a certain height, you don't want to have to take steps back all the time again, because you don't want to waste your time. I mean, who does? And you also want to just finally get to the top, get to where you're going. So that is where a little bit of your impatience may shine through in a way that does not surprise you, but actually leads to the surprising result of you taking a little less action less quickly, because you're thinking about it harder. The more successful you become, the higher you climb. So let's move a little more deeply into this group number 4, shall we? Next up, we've got the panther. So we have another one of these types of creatures. We had something very similar show up for you here within the 9 of coins. I did call it a cougar. We do not know precisely what we've got here in the 9 of coins. It could even be a white lioness. But I want you to understand here within the panther showing their fangs that what comes as a big surprise is how hard actually someone is guarding you and riding for you and protecting you. And this person being in your life next is someone that you have actually always known would enter your life. The elephant shows me that you've always had this feeling that you would be with somebody who has a very protective energy over you and wouldn't allow for anything to harm you or come near you that is bad for you. And furthermore, within the elephant, I do also want you to understand that being someone who is the old soul, who is the mom of the friend group, is not what I would see as a downfall or something negative. Remind yourself that this is a gift that a lot of people wish that they were given. And the buffalo is representative of abundance. In a lot of native tribes and cultures, the buffalo is seen as a symbol of abundance and of plenty. And this showing up within your reading shows that an unexpected change that comes towards you is actually finding that there is more around you, more to enjoy and take than you had realized. And why there is more than you had realized, this comes into play in a very specific manner. So what I'm talking about here is, for example, tax write-offs that you didn't know about. What I'm talking about is, for example, bonuses when it comes to your job and your career. That extra stream of revenue actually not just being that little fun stream you started, but turning into a lot more than that. Also, an abundance of people who want to watch and follow your progress. I do see here that the more you kind of show your fangs and the more you're real and the more you put your passion and feelings into your work, the more you will actually find that people do want to follow you, quite literally speaking, on social media and see what's going on in your life and see how you're progressing. So if you are a business owner or someone who works with social media and wants to grow that, I just want you to understand here within the Panther that actually there are a lot more people watching and interested in your growth progress than you thought. Next up here within the Labradorite, your spirit guides are trying to urge you to see the magic in things. Now, when you are being urged to see the magic, there are some sort of supernatural forces at play. And the supernatural forces I see with the 8 of Cups, you had left behind for a while. And I'm getting this message that it had to do with the loss of a pet or a loved one that kind of made you feel as though, yeah, life does have magic, but to a degree, life is also a lot of pain and suffering and hurt, which is inevitable. So in the Labradorite, your spirit guides are seeing you have this rekindling with magic and a sensation that actually nothing is ever fully lost or destroyed. Everything can still be accessed, and this supernatural experience is a connection, is an evening where you feel like you can communicate so freely, so directly and authentically with a person, with an individual that you thought that you would never be able to speak to again. So having a supernatural experience in the form of that person being accessible just in a different frequency, not as a human being, but more as a spirit guide, more as an angel beside you. The Rhodonite is symbolic of finding a way to forgive for how much time that you spent thinking that things were your fault. Group number 4, I'm getting a feeling of guilt. This reading, I'm getting a very overwhelming energy right now of guilt that's coming from the depths of parts of you that you had buried. I'm getting this vibe that you feel guilty or ashamed of things that were never your fault to begin with, where you didn't do anything wrong. You just did the best you could at the time and for the level that you were at, quite literally speaking, on an intellectual kind of scale. And the Rhodonite shows us that you now have to find a way to forgive group number 4. You can't hold this over your own head forever. You can't feel guilty about these things forever. I see here within the Hermit that going into hiding and just kind of being completely disassociated from the world and being a hermit, quite literally speaking, being an introvert to the point that you don't really want to talk to anyone, has been the result of some depression, of feeling guilty and depressed in many ways. And the Hermit shows us that what comes as a surprise in connectivity to the Rhodonite is the more you find a way to forgive you, the more you will actually come out of this hermit mode and find that there is so much more to your existence than being in a place where you're judging yourself or still feeling unhappy about some of the choices that you made. None of us have only made perfect choices. Remind yourself of this group number 4. And remember that we're all still here, all still standing. We all still get to be proud of who we are. So do you. So within the 9 of Swords, Spirit is really encouraging you to look at things from the lens of, all right, we all have skeletons in the closet. We all have things we're not proud of. We've all got stuff that we would like to change, that we do wish were different. But that doesn't mean that that has to be a burden or a heavy weight that we carry with us all the time. You get to forgive yourself, you get to move on, and you get to sleep peacefully at night, especially if you're the type of person that tends to have nightmares or tends to overthink during bedtime and then you end up going to bed extremely late. I just want you to understand that sometimes it can be this kind of like daytime revenge. So when you feel like you had no time for yourself throughout the day, it's almost like taking revenge on yourself. I read that one time that it's like a real thing, an actual term. And within the 9 of Swords, I want you to know that you can do something about this. It's not something that has to exist in this way. And you can prioritize yourself and your sleep. We can start that today, group number 4. Now, there are so many more messages that I know we've got here that I want to uncover for you from Spirit. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear and cleanse the space. You don't need to lift a finger or do a thing. Simply continue to lean back, relax, and enjoy. And leave a elephant emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you were here and you're part of group 4, because that's the only way anyone would know that you chose group number 4 and that you're a real one who's still here, by leaving the elephant emoji below in the comment section. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe. And as promised, I'll be right back with more messages so we can delve even more deeply into your prediction. Hello, my beautiful soul of group number 4. Welcome back, and let's delve even more deeply into your reading, shall we? So first up, we have the 7 of Water as well as the masculine and feminine. Let's talk about it. Now, within the 7 of Water as well as the masculine and feminine, I see that what comes as a huge change and big choice that you're making is to be more in your feminine. No more feeling as though you have to be in your masculine and constantly take action, constantly be the breadwinner, the one who is providing, the one who is putting themselves on the forefront. You may have felt obligated to be this person, but you're realizing that just as much as someone who should have been a provider or should have been in their masculine chose not to, they chose to steal the dresses and the skirts out of your closet to wear them and to only leave you with the pants, you can do the same. But the thing is, you're not doing it to someone else. You're simply choosing to no longer be forced into one type of energy exclusively that you don't want to be in 100% of the time. Sure, you know how to be in your masculine. You know how to get things done. You know how to be a person who isn't afraid of making ish happen, basically, of being a salesperson, of making sure that financially you are abundant. We've got the King of Earth, which confirms this. Sure, you are a boss, and professionally speaking, sure, you are the type of person who knows how to close a deal, what to do, how to be a leader. You've got all of that. But that doesn't mean that you want to be that person all the time. That doesn't mean that you want to constantly have this King of Earth energy where you are always in work mode and you are forced into your masculine because it is just not comfortable for you. That's what I see here within the Seven of Water. And what comes as a huge unexpected change is that actually when you move into being in an authentic energy for you, you will find that you are destined to be with someone who understands it, who gets it, and also who allows you to be in there, to be in that energy and that frequency of femininity, softness. And the other people who try to force you into your masculine and keep you there, they're actually going to fall away. It's destined that you're no longer going to have anything to do with those individuals. Because guess what, group number 4? They want to keep you in your masculine because you are of some sort of service to them. If you weren't of some sort of service, then not being in your masculine wouldn't be an issue. So it is going to be a very interesting time for you to see who falls away and who stays as you move into being more comfortable with the energy that you're in and picking an energy that is authentic to you and that makes you feel truly comfortable. Again, that makes you feel comfortable, not them, not others. In the ether, we've got the number 11, and the ether represents the seamless, unspeakable. There are things that you cannot even put in words that seamlessly happen and they're unspeakable. Again, I am getting supernatural experiences. Talking to a past loved one that you deeply miss and wish you could have one more conversation with. And the ether shows us with master number 11 that this conversation and connection is being reinitiated. Your guides are telling me they already tried to initiate this at one point, but you weren't ready. You were still healing, grieving, and in a challenging spot. And the ether shows us here that now you are ready to be initiated. Now you are ready to take up that connection again and to understand that being in a place of grieving, being in a place of understanding that, all right, this is not an easy situation. However, you can still connect with them on another plane. It takes having healed to a certain extent that Spirit has now given you time to do. And within furred and feathered friends, I want you to know that in many ways, different animals represent loved ones. They represent people who are not in your life anymore. And you will notice these animals showing up repeatedly in miraculous and seemingly strange ways. So think, for example, seeing hawks more frequently than usual, seeing symbols of a lion, roosters, fish, we've got butterflies, we've got the snake, we've got a rabbit, we've got some sort of fox and an antelope type of animal here too, and feeling really connected to your furred and feathered friends. And I do also see here that animals usually really like and trust you. I see that with the connection to the ether, the seamless, unspeakable. It's like, as mentioned, unspeakable. It's not like they can say, oh, I really trust group number 4. I really trust this person who chose group number 4. Animals can't say that. They just unspeakably show it. They show that they feel comfortable in your presence, that you're not a threat, and therefore they can be themselves around you. So you have this therapeutic kind of energy and effect on other living beings, which also makes group number 4 an amazing vet, dog sitter, or literally just step parent to someone else's pet whom you're really close to. And I want you to know here that on your life path, moving forward, what comes as a big surprise to you is one thing solidifying itself that you've always known. And that's that you F with animals a lot more than you do with human beings, because at least you know where you're at. Even if it's an animal that's mad at you, even if it's a hissing snake, you can respect that compared to a snake in human form that is pretending to be a rabbit, that is literally a wolf in sheep's clothing. You just cannot with that. So the more you realize that you don't have time and energy for that, the more you're actually leaning towards spending time with animals, quite literally speaking. Within the page of coins, I also see that what comes as a big unexpected surprise is you being a boss, having business down, knowing what you want to do in the earthly realm and where you're going. But then the page of coins shows that you're also starting a completely new business venture where you are a page, you're a beginner, you don't know what you're doing. However, this is a fun endeavor for you. This is an undertaking that you're excited to do. You want to challenge yourself. And within the Six of Swords, you have actually gamified the act of making money and of building financial abundance. You have taken it from a place of where it stresses you out. You're unsure. You feel kind of a little bit worried of how it's going to play out, how you're going to do it, to realizing you're not a baby anymore. All right? You're not a teen. I mean, maybe you are a late teen, but you're not a child who has zero experience. You have worked, you have skills that you can monetize. You have had a lot of different experiences in making money and being a professional. Of course, you still have a lot to learn, but what you already have puts you ahead of the game to the point where you will always find a way to make money. So starting something completely new, as I see here in the Fool, yes, there's always a risk of falling off the cliff or falling off the edge, but I see that what comes as a big unexpected change is like you're no longer nervous over this. You're no longer completely paralyzed by fear and overthinking. You are not so risk averse. You're actually a little bit more into taking risks. You're a little bit more into this whole vibe of, let me just try it. Let me just risk it for the biscuit. I see here within the Knight of Wands that there's a message coming for you that has to do with you being initiated into this additional stream of revenue where you're going to learn, oh, actually, you know what? Why not? Let's try this. And by initiated, I mean someone's going to send you a reel or some sort of article that shows you that you can make extra cash doing, for example, copywriting, doing some sort of online course, making sure that you're using your skills and putting them out there, and you never even considered it, is what I meant to say. But having this information and someone pushing you virtually, telling you, oh, look, you can make extra money like this. You can start another business venture, another stream of revenue in this way. It's actually inspiring you to say, yeah, you know what, I can. And why not try it? Why not give it a shot? Sure, I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing. That's what we've got here in the Page of Coins. But you know you're capable. You know you're driven. You know you're someone who doesn't give up. You know that if you need to, you can also be someone who doesn't take no for an answer. And you're the type of person who doesn't play when it comes to their money anymore. No, those days are over. Next up within the ship has sailed, Spirit confirms that time is over. And you will even surprise yourself. You'll do a little oop when people ask you for money, time, energy that you usually would have so freely given without expecting anything in return. But that ship has sailed. You've done that so often. You've poured from a cup that you have emptied, your empty cup, to the degree that that ship has sailed, and now you're no longer pouring from a cup that has nothing in it. You're no longer pouring from nothing. You're keeping your cup filled. Literally and figuratively, you are drinking, you are saving money, and you are saving time for you. All right? Hydrating yourself quite literally by filling your cup, making sure that you have a bottle of water with you, next to you at all times, that you are the healthiest that you can be, because you have realized that in order for you to be strong in this world and this incarnation, you have to become aware of unconscious games. And here we've got the number 11 again. We already had the number 11 show up here within the ether, and the ether, in case you forgot, is about the seamless and unspeakable. And unconscious games are the unspeakable games that nobody wants to admit to. but that happen without you even realizing or noticing. And a big thing here within unconscious games is actually becoming more aware of marketing strategies as well. So for example, all of these things at the till when you're at the grocery store that are just easy to put in your cart, you're realizing these are things I don't need, and it's just a marketing tactic to put it right at the end of the shopping experience for people to get a few extra things that they don't actually need but seem convenient and priced at a lower level or cheaply priced. So it's like, oh, whatever, let me just add this candy into my cart, even though it's not healthy and I don't want it. Actually, consciously, but subconsciously, it awakens something in you that thinks, oh, let me just get this. And becoming more aware of these little ways in which you can actually stay away from unhealthy habits, from spending money that you don't need to be spending, and just being a little bit more, I don't want to say conservative, but thoughtful when it comes to what you're consuming and what you're spending money on. That is a huge change for you, not in the sense of these little kind of epiphanies and moments of enlightenment being the huge change, but the accumulation of over time making it the norm to choose what's healthiest for you. For me, for example, the accumulation of the norm being walking 10,000 steps per day. Sure, if I do it on one day, it's not going to make a big difference, but I have literally been doing this for years. You guys have been watching it on my Instagram story for years, group number 4. And if you want to be motivated to do the same, and you also just like, for example, kind, positive, uplifting kind of content on your Instagram, make sure that you do follow me over there so we can stay connected. And I also do post readings and cards on a almost daily basis on there. So I want you to become really aware of the fact that you are growing in so many ways, and because you're becoming more and more of an adult, you're actually shaping into this person that will eventually be an amazing parent, an amazing guardian, and you potentially even already being a parent, you being a guardian already. I want you to understand here that that is actually something that made you take the biggest leap forward, and there is going to be no greater happiness in your life than to be a caregiver of someone who is unable to protect themselves or see the vision the way you see it, see the truths the way you see them. And I want you to understand that the harp not only represents great happiness, but also harmony. Harmony in your home life, harmony with the people around you, and the nest shows us an emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. Group number 4, if this resonates, then make sure that aside from leaving the elephant emoji below, you leave the nest emoji below. I believe there is a nest emoji. For sure there is an egg emoji, but the nest emoji, if you can find that, let me tell you, you're a real one. And here within the nest, showing a secure nest, a secure place where you can fall back to or fall back on and know that you have an emotionally secure and loving family that you have built, encouraged, and made possible is one of your greatest achievements, and one of the things that comes as a huge unexpected change because you just didn't think you were that person. You just didn't think you had the Wisteria Lane, Desperate Housewives kind of vibes. And I want you to understand here that why this comes as a big unexpected change is because you have really been underestimating yourself, group number 4, in where your life is going and how it's going to turn out. And you have really been basing the entire trajectory of the future of your life based on some current moments and events. And here within the scarab beetle spirit, this is an animal that your guides are bringing into your reading right now for a reason. The reason is to remind you that magic works through you. Group number 4, I highly encourage you to stop looking for magic on an external plane and to remind yourself, group number 4, that you are the light, you are the magic, you are the type of person that others actually come to in hopes of finding magic, in hopes of finding light, in hopes of finding amazing energy, good vibes, and a feeling of safety. You are that person that people turn to when they feel down. But the issue with that is that who do you turn to when you're feeling down? Who do you turn to when you're feeling overwhelmed, right? That is always the, I want to say, challenging bit for people like you, because you can forget that you are the light. You can forget that magic works through you, because to you it's second nature. To you it's normal. To you it is as simple as breathing. It is actually breathing and existing. That is how you have the magic work through you. By simply existing, you can't help it. And you also can't help it that that makes you a magnet to a lot of energy vampires, a lot of people who may just want to drain you, not even in an intentional manner, but they just come around you, they feel your energy, they sense who you are as a person, and they can't help it but think to themselves, I want more of this. I want to be around this person. And some people will take and take and take without realizing that they're emptying a cup that isn't theirs. That's why group number 4, having the boundaries and saying no and becoming really aware of this, has been your greatest strength, your greatest protector, and the most important thing that you could have ever done for yourself, group number 4. I also just want to add some letters into your reading so we can become extremely clear on what Spirit wants to say to you. So intuitively, we have received DEAP, which does phonetically sound like deep. So you are a very deep individual, which of course has profound thoughts on many occasions, and we want you to be around other people who are just like that. And adding further into your reading, we have got I as well as R. So I really love what we have going on here, because there are a lot of different words for you that Spirit wants to speak of. So for one, I'm getting ripe, group number 4. Remind yourself that you are ripe for the picking. You are ready for commitment. You are ready to be kind of a parent, a caretaker, the CEO. And nobody actually feels fully ready before they get thrown into these situations. But I want you to know that when it does happen, and it's happening soon as a big change, you are ready, you are ripe, you are up for it. Another thing that I'm getting here is also PDA, all right? Public displays of affection. My gorgeous soul of group number 4, try to get a little more comfortable with this, because there is definitely someone in your life who loves that, okay? There's someone who you're meant to be with that absolutely loves to be close to you. Then we also have Rob as a name here for a person that is important within your life. So PDA, in example, Rob. That is the message that we're receiving here from your guides, group number 4. And then we have, even then, just to reiterate, all right, I'm getting diaper here. Diapers and OB. Diapers and OB or BO. So here within the reading, there are a lot of different symbols and signs and words that are coming up in relation to family life, to home life. I'm also thing that I'm getting here is bored as well. So bored in the old, bored in what you already know, and actually looking to try something new, start something fresh, have different types of dynamics within your life and new relationships too. So group number 4, this is the reading that I've received for you, and I hope that you found it insightful and that it gave you a lot of insight on some of the big and unexpected changes that are coming towards you. Make sure that you let me know below in the comment section that you enjoyed this reading and how you're doing. I love to read your comments and engage in the comment section. I feel like I'm one of those YouTubers, the few that are left, that spend like an hour every day simply replying to comments and reading my DMs on Instagram and getting back to you guys with like voice notes and everything. So thank you all so much for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me. I appreciate you more than I can put in words, and I can't wait to catch up with you during one of my upcoming readings.